Good morning all. Today we are going to discuss what is the process of applying for university. Feel free to pause this and get a pen and paper and then carry on. So what is the process of applying to university? Firstly, the application process. And this is something I will say repeatedly. Use the UCAS website or use websites that are from the universities. It's all well and good looking at people on social media, but you should go to the appropriate people. I would be very wary of trusting them as fount of all knowledge. If in doubt, go to ucas.com, which is amazing and should be your first port of call for sources of advice and information. You can also use Unifrog and eclips, which I discussed in earlier Reach lessons. And I will put my web sources in the information with this video. The first thing I would suggest you do is research. You need to find out what you want to study and where, and that is something you can be doing right now at home. What subjects do you enjoy? Even if it's not necessarily the subjects you are doing, follow your interest and research courses. Use UCAS and then use the university websites to find out what's in the course. Research. Find out what you want to study and where. Things to ask yourself: do I want to be in a city? Do I want a campus? So you've got very short distance to roll out of bed in the mornings to lectures. Do I want a big city, a small city? Do I want it to be near a town? What kind of life do I want? Do I want it to be a countryside university? Do I want to go to Scotland, or would I like to go to Northern Ireland? Think about where you want to study, what you're looking for in the university experience. Ask yourself those questions. But the fundamental thing you're going for, you are going to be studying the course for at least 3 years. So you must make sure that it really fascinates you. Look past the first year. You can also do really good things like look at the university website. Lots of universities are being very creative. They're putting up webinars, they're offering student experiences, they're offering online study days. Find out. You then use UCAS Apply, the University Central Admission Service, to apply to university, either to universities or to conservatoires. Conservatoires are also done through UCAS now, and we're going to be doing some sessions on former sixth form college students who went to conservatoires in a couple of weeks. You fill out your UCAS form. Don't worry about that. You will have careers lessons from the 8th of June, and Tarina Smith, the head of careers at sixth form, will be doing those virtually so that everyone has the information about how to apply to whatever course you want to study. She takes you through that, and she'll be offering not only the lessons, but then the careers team will be offering one-to-ones for support with those. So don't worry about UCAS Apply. We take you through that. Feel free to look at the UCAS website if you want to get ahead. You fill out your UCAS form and then you submit it to us as a careers team, either for me if you are Oxbridge, Paul if you're a medic, vet or dentist, or any of the other team members if you're applying through normal application. And we have specialists to help you with your primary teaching, nursing, physio, whatever. And of course we have quals checks. So everything is done by the careers team and we all work together to communicate. So if you need it, you can contact us and we have a whole team of support available to help you with that. You submit to us either by October the 15th, that's a really important date, October the 15th if you are an early applicant, so Oxbridge, Oxford and Cambridge, medics, vets and dentists, you apply by October the 15th. That means we need you to submit it in mid-September onwards. You need to submit it by then because we have a huge number of very, very, very academic students, Oxbridge, medics, vets and dentists. And we check every single application with a fine tooth comb. I read your personal statement down to every comma, every full stop, every apostrophe. And that's why we are so successful at getting students into top universities. It's imperative that you get yours in before October the 15th and quite a bit earlier if you want that close attention to detail that we like to offer. And I process them in the order they come in. Also, if you haven't filled in your form quite right, I have time to say, look, you need to change this. It's not quite good enough. You're further reading, you need another article, you need to do more of this. Grammar's not quite right here. This sentence doesn't grab me. This needs a bit more attention to detail. I got time to send it back to you. You can work on it for a couple of days and send it back to me. So really important. We will decide upon the dates for September soon, but have in your mind mid-September, submit my form. And we have Wednesday afternoon sessions. We have lots of support in September. Heads of department who check it, your subject teachers who check it, and then you can bring it to either myself or Paul or even one of the rest of the amazing careers team. If you need final checks, then you submit it to me. You submit to us in either September, or if you're not applying to veterinary medicine, dentistry, or Oxford or Cambridge, you apply in November onwards, and the deadline is January. And again, we are a big college. We have a huge number of UCAS forms that go off. So again, you'll want to get it sorted. I would recommend starting the process now. Even if you decide not to go through early application, you've got your UCAS form started. When you submit your UCAS to us, you've done your bit. We still have to do a lot. We check your qualifications. We then add your reference from each teacher, and we add your predicted grades. And that's an amalgamation of the first year, your work, and where we can see you headed because of your work ethic. You've submitted it to us. We have sent it off to your universities. We also send off, if we need to, a letter of extenuating circumstances. If you have experienced hardship, you've had a bereavement, you've suffered with serious health issues, mental or physical, or you have another thing that you need to tell the universities about, we submit a letter on your behalf, which you will check and okay, we'll write together to say that these are the hardships they've experienced, or they've moved this many times. If there's something important that your universities will need to know, perhaps why you don't have any GCSEs or why your GCSEs aren't so good as they could have been, see us, make an appointment. It's really important that universities know why you got the grades you did, perhaps why you haven't got the grades you were capable of. Really important. And universities want to know, regardless of whether you're an early applicant or not. See your director of studies or your personal tutor, whatever needs be. We make sure that the universities understand your circumstances. Also, in your reference, we want to know if you were the first person in your family to apply for university or the first generation to apply. If you had financial hardship in your family, or you ever needed free school meals, or other circumstances that may have gone on. Perhaps your school was fantastic. You were the best in your year. We want to know that. Perhaps your school was struggling a little bit. If you, for example, have been under the care of the local authority, you haven't lived with your parents, it's really important that universities know how amazing you are and the things you've gone through for good and any struggles you might have had. You submit it to us and we send it to your universities. We personalise it with any needs you might have. Then the universities look at it, and some of them may ask for an entrance test. For example, a lot of the Oxbridge courses, law, medicine, most of those courses will want you to sit an admissions test, thinking skills assessment, a TSA, the LNAT for law, ELAT or a HAT. And you've been hearing about those in the interviews with former students. Most universities don't ask for entrance tests, but it's worth finding out if yours do. The admissions tests are in November of this year. So most of those are done in college. Occasionally they're done at a test centre, but you can ask us about those as well. The top universities may ask for you to come to an interview to check your suitability for the course. Oxford and Cambridge offer interviews because they have a different teaching style to lots of other universities. Most universities lecture where you listen to someone talking to you, you write notes, and they are fascinating. And then from that lecture you go away and you read, you study, you learn. Universities also have seminars where you have a smaller group more of a discussion forum. And then Oxford and Cambridge and some other universities have supervisions or tutorials where you do some learning or you do some work before the supervision or the tutorial, and then you sit with a lecturer and discuss your thinking. Oxford and Cambridge want you to enjoy the dialogue that comes with those and that you'll suit the rigour of that kind of learning. And if it doesn't suit you, they might not offer you a place, or perhaps you're not ready yet and you might apply again on a gap year. Once you've perhaps done an entrance test, perhaps had an interview, or another example of courses, if you're going for a sports course or a music course, you might go for an audition of some kind. And we'll talk more about that in our conservatoire videos. You may well be invited to an interview to check your suitability for the course. And then you may receive conditional offers, or very occasionally unconditional offers. Conditional offers are, if you get these grades, we will offer you a place. And that is where they give you conditions. And they may say, your grade B needs to be in this, or your grade A or A star needs to be in this subject. And then you will choose your firm choice, your first choice, and your insurance. And then you work for the grades and you get your grades and your results in August of next year. And if you wanted to, you can also apply for a gap year, what we call deferred entry. That means you apply to university saying, I don't want to go off to university straight after my A-levels. I would like to take a gap year, defer it for a year. And universities are supportive of that. And we can offer more advice if you have any queries about deferring. Oxford and Cambridge, amalgamated to Oxbridge. Sometimes you apply to Oxford and you are interviewed at a different college. I hope you've had that addressed in lots of the YouTube videos so far, but absolutely normal to be interviewed somewhere else. You might well be interviewed at another college. They say, well, this student's really good, let's interview them somewhere else to check that we are being fair between different colleges. Or alternatively, you might apply to a college and they say, well, we've had too many really good English students this year, so actually we don't have space for this student, but they are fantastic. We think you should be interviewed by them. Do you need to choose a college? No. Choose a college because it's central, or it's got nice buildings, or it has a pool, or has a gym, or you just like the feel of it from the online tour. Great. Don't hold on to it too tightly. If you end up going to another college at either Oxford or Cambridge, that's fine. You will love the college you go to. And they're all good. There is no one college at either Oxford or Cambridge, any of them. They are all as good as one another. You can also say, I don't want to make the decision. I would like the decision to be made by the admissions team. And you then go for an open application. Does it disadvantage you? No, it does not. And you'll be assigned a college. Your application will go to that college in exactly the same way as if a student had applied directly to that college. At Cambridge, they also have the winter pool. If they had too many really great applicants to that college, they may say, we don't have space for you, but you were so great, we put you in the winter pool. They then have a round the table discussion, and then you might get interviewed again. Your GCSEs go on your UCAS. You must make sure your qualifications are correct. That'll be dealt with in careers lessons. Your details, your address, your date of birth. You would not believe how many students tell me that they are 10. Got the date wrong. Any additional needs you might have, 25% extra time, any learning needs. You'll have a reference from your teachers. You'll have your personal statement and lots else. Check UCAS. There is a huge amount of information. Definitely worth looking through that so you really understand all the things that are on UCAS. And of course, they will be dealt with in careers lessons. So that's a whistle-stop tour of the process of applying. So for the moment, familiarise yourself with UCAS before careers lessons start in a couple of weeks. Secondly, research your courses. It is so important that you know what you're applying for, what you want to study. You don't have to know the course yet. You don't have to write your personal statement yet. I want to make sure that you know the courses you're applying for. Look beyond the first year. What's involved in the course? A sociology degree here might be very different from a sociology degree here. Perhaps you want to do 2 subjects or even 3. Find the course you love at universities you'd love to study at, and then that's when you put them on your UCAS form. The next video I'm going to do is about personal statements. See you then.